Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we're having our Trump coffee and putting together a score. I have been needing one of these. I've been missing mine. Been a long time since I had a bead blaster. I used to have one that was big enough that I could put four-wheeler frames in and sandblast them and have. But I ended up having to get rid of it when I had to move. And story of my life, moving seems to be a habit for me, and I don't know why. But anyway, I got this because I have a job coming up that needs to be taken care of. I went to start my truck the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and the carburetor popped back through the carburetor, and it's done that several times before, but it usually starts right up and runs fine. Well, this was just one pop too many times, so I blowed the power valve in it, and there's been a task that I wanted to do to that carburetor because Holley went and changed, it's got a Holley 600 on it, they went and changed the bowls on them to non-adjustable floats. I don't like that. I like to be able to adjust my floats from outside the carburetor instead of having to take it apart and bend rods and levers and all that other bullshit. So I went and bought another carburetor, used one, that needed to be cleaned up, and two more bowls that have the adjustable floats on them, and this sight screw in the side of it. And they're in pretty rough shape, so I knew that was going to be a case, so I went ahead and got this sandblaster. Well, I got the frame and everything put together and went to put the door on it, and I'll show you what I found. For starters, you don't drill a hole in plastic and expect it to hold a chain that's going to hold the door. That's too much pressure on plexiglass. That's all that is plexiglass. And you can't hardly see in it. It needs to be glass, tempered glass. But anyway, it's got a crack in it right there in two places. So I've contacted them to let them know that that's the case. But I mean, it is what it is. For what I paid for it, that should be glass. It shouldn't be plexiglass. You should be able to see through it. The whole point of having glass is so you can see through it, and you can't hardly see through it to see what you're doing. So I'm going to probably change this to glass. Hopefully I can change it to glass, but for now I'm just going to use it the way it is. But anyway, so I got the carburetors coming, and well, I got the carburetor. I gotta wait for media. This was supposed to have had media with it, but it didn't. I could have swore it said 25 pounds of media comes with it, so it didn't come with it. So I had to order some fine Black Beauty. I've had a lot of good luck with Black Beauty in the past, so that's what I use. In fact, I used to use medium and coarse, but it kind of clogs up real quick. But anyway, so then I got another score. This came from one of my subscribers, George. Thank you very much for this. He sent this to me, and I believe he said he was sending two more later on. But he sent me, I didn't expect all this. I just expected two motors, but he sent me the controllers and the incline motors. I never had much luck on them incline motors to use them on projects because they're AC motors. And they're supposed to be reversible. But as far as I know, these are AC motors. So I really haven't had much luck in using them for anything. If they had 12-volt motors on them, yeah, I could probably use them for a lot of things to go back and forth with whatever. But he sent me all this stuff. And I've never seen a treadmill have this kind of a controller on it. Never seen one of these before, so I don't know what that's for. Yeah, I've never seen one of those in a treadmill. But anyway, he sent me, I'll put all that wiring to the side here. Yeah, this box was heavy. And he sent me the controller, which I'll probably not use. I don't know, might use it for something. I have used one of those on a drill press. He didn't even unhook nothing. But yeah, we've got a controller here, which I don't think it's an MC60. But we got this control, 2 motors. I'm guessing that this is one of the controllers for one of the, I'm not sure what that is. Never seen one of these before. Relay 2 outlet control. Never seen a treadmill with that on it. Must be a new one. But he sent me 2 motors, 2 pulleys. I can always use them rollers. Them rollers are nice, nice to have. In fact, I used one of these on my trailer as a roller for my cable to go across so it doesn't tear up my wood. We got another box here, or transformer. Actually, I don't think that's called a transformer, but somebody will definitely correct me, I'm sure. Oh, we even got us a battery. Thank you, man. That's what I've always wanted. A battery. And I bet it ain't even a good one. George, you're slipping on me. At least give me a good battery. Must have fell in there when he was packing it up. Shit. But yeah, this'll work, man. We got the brackets with it. And we went and got this one over here fixed, and I painted it the same color as the grinder. I went and redone this grinder. This was one of my scores. Dale made that for me, and I even put on there tighten, loosen, and the words didn't come out very good, but it says knife grinder built by Dale Gross, 3322 for Bison Workshop, and words didn't come out right when it printed. But anyway, I put that on there to show who I got it from, and then I made them brackets there on the bottom of that motor with some standoffs, and we're going to route this board out on the back side and run screws up through so we can slide that back and forth. Maybe a 1/4 inch play. But yep, that was my score. The treadmill motors and the bead blaster or sand blaster. And I gotta finish putting it back together, or putting it together, and hope they send me a new glass. You don't put a screw through plexiglass, especially when it's supposed to hold a door open. Now, if this wasn't sitting on a bench and would be going up against this when I opened it, you know, that would be a lot of pressure on that. As you can see, it hasn't never been used, and it's broke already just from shipping it from them to me. Can you imagine using it? It would probably break the first time you used it. So if he sends me another one that's got the screw in it, I'm going to take the screw out and plug that hole, because it's going to go up against this backing right here anyway. So I don't really need that chain. It's just something you don't do. If you're going to put a screw there, put it in the metal part, not the plastic. So I still got to put the gloves on it, and I'm going to redesign this filter. This is the stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. I'm not real impressed with this sandblaster. It can be impressive once I get done with it, but you know, first of all, they don't send you no connectors. So we're going to make our own connector and try to incorporate this filter in another way. It mounts back here on the back side. Let me move this door out of the way. And that's the way I got it out of the box. This thing mounts back here, but there's no other part that goes on the outside of it to actually hook your hose up. I've seen somebody doing a review on this thing, and he did an excellent review, but he put his vacuum line up like that right there and then complained because it was getting dusty in there. Well, no wonder. You're going up against the bottom and it wasn't really doing much. So you have all that filter open around there. So it needs to be another piece, and I'll 3D print one and make it so that I can hook this right up to it, like right here or something, because I've got some pool hose up there that I can use to connect to it and run it down here, so I can just plug it in right here at the bottom corner or underneath here or something, probably the side here. And we're probably going to drill a hole in the bench and run a line down through it. I don't like these tubes. I don't know if I'm going to change that or not. I usually put an elbow on the center in the bottom where you drain it and run a hose to the nozzle and then run it back into the cabinet. We'll see. But for now, I'm just going to use it this way temporarily. And then I want to get one of those vibrators that you get that comes in a recliner. And if anybody's got any old recliners with vibrators in them, take them things out and send them to me. Those work great. The last bead blaster I had a problem with the, and it had a deeper cone. This one's very shallow. So the media is going to get stuck and pile up on the sides. So if you take and put a vibrator on each side and you turn it on while you're sandblasting, that vibrator will vibrate that media back down in the center. So we got a lot of modifying to do to this. The light's a little cheesy, but it works okay. I think it's going to be blinding. Let me put the door on and see. But I imagine it's going to be blinding. Yep. That I need to put a piece of something here to cover that so it only shines down in there and not blind you, because that's blinding. a bright light. It's just in the wrong location. Yeah, it needs something over top of it to just so it'll shine down instead of in your eyes. Yeah, I was reading the directions. Don't tell anybody. I want everybody to think I'm smart. But we'll show this when it's done, and we got it working. They sent this gray silicone, which I'll probably use, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to seal everything on the inside of this thing, all the cracks. Yeah, it's got a seal in the bottom, but I've seen some of the reviews on this thing, and they have sand that comes out of these corners. I don't want sand coming out on my bench. I got enough cleaning to do without having to clean up a nasty sand mess, and they are nasty. So I want to make sure that I've got everything right and sealed before I get my media. So I'll just take this and seal the whole thing all the way around it. Either that or use some 100% silicone. I have some somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I've looked everywhere. It's like everything else around here. I misplace it. But we're going to seal it up and see if this thing don't make a good addition to the Bison Workshop. Like I said before, I've needed one ever since I got rid of my Blastidol. That thing stood this tall, and it even had a silo on it that came with it, but I removed that and used my shop vac instead. That thing it just took up too much room in my shop, and at the time I had a small shop, so I got rid of that thing and probably took it to scrap. I don't remember what I used that for. I might have used it for something, who knows. But anyway, that's my score video for the sandblasting cabinet 90 liter. It's a SB90 instruction manual with this thing. Hell, they even gave the manual a part number. But yeah, we're gonna modify this to make it work for us in the correct manner. We may not even use this filter. I don't see any real point in this filter, to be honest with you. I think if I just put an elbow right here and hook my hose up to it, it'll work just fine, because it pulls the air from right here on this hole through it to this side and sucks across wind, and then into this, and the shop vac's got its own filter. So it's really unnecessary, to be honest with you. So I'm probably going to 3D print a part to go up here so I can hook PVC to it. I just need a coupler to put on it, because I can tell you right now, this thing here is going to get full of sand, and it'll be a continuous maintenance to have to deal with, and I'm just not prepared to deal with that. So we'll use this filter for something else. It looks like something I could probably use on my four-wheeler or something. We'll figure something out for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I sure enjoyed getting it. Thank you very much again, George, and thank you, Dale, for the grinder, and thank Bison Workshop for this, because I had to buy this. I didn't want to, but I've been needing one for a long time. So Bison Air Rifles and Parts.com been pretty decent with me and allowed this to happen. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.